Hello, friends. Welcome to the Wellness Inspired Podcast, the place where you can find inspiration, motivation, and empowerment in the pursuit of a wellness lifestyle. I'm your host, Sherry Davidson, and my beloved terrier mixed dog and co-host Finn is here with us. And today we get to share a story of no limits with you. My friend, Alma Nelly, is a 24-year-old ovarian and bone cancer survivor who was diagnosed in October of 1997 at the young age of 18. Diagnosis and treatment included 6 rounds of chemotherapy and 3 surgeries, one of which was an amputation of her right lower leg. The long and lonely journey to recovery led her to become a young cancer survivor advocate and an athlete. With the words of her doctors repeating in her head, "There are no limits," she decided to start running. And at the time, she didn't know it, but when she started to run, she also started to heal. Running allowed her to connect to her mind, body, and spirit. She gained confidence and self-esteem, and for the first time, she started seeing herself as a whole person. Alma is still running. She has completed the Achilles Houston Marathon, 22 half marathons, several triathlon distances, including an Ironman distance, 70.3 miles. And she did that in 2018. Alma is a huge supporter of MD Anderson, as well as a poster child. She decided to pursue a career in diagnostic imaging. And in the years since her recovery, Alma has worked at MD Anderson Cancer Center in the Division of Diagnostic Imaging and has been a supervisor in the Department of Computed Tomography for the past 8 years. So I want to jump into the conversation, but first a few mentions. My friend Kathleen Hanley, she was on episode 16, Running Adventure Durango Skyline Trail Race. But she's not only a runner, she is also a doctor of public health, and she has a passion, just like me, for keeping people healthy. So we're going to talk about the effects of sedentary lifestyle on health. Her dissertation was on sedentary behavior in the workplace and what would make someone more likely to stick with a workplace physical activity program. So it should be fun, so please join us. That will be in a couple of weeks. And then following will be a fun episode because National Dog Day is August the 26th. So in celebration, I'm going to do an episode on the healing power of dogs. This was Finn's idea, so we make a great team, so you can thank Finn for this one. But after that, I am traveling to wellness. I leave to go on a running adventure in the Faroe Islands, and I am super excited about this trip. This is my first long vacation since 2019, pre-COVID. I did a running adventure in Iceland in 2019, and my plan is to do an episode while I am in the Faroe Islands, but we'll see how it goes. I'm getting all my equipment together, my minimalist equipment list. So hopefully I can do some fun things there. But there or back here, I will share my experience and hopefully it will be an amazing one. All right, let's get to Alma. Alma is truly inspiring. I think you will really enjoy her story of healing, resiliency, purpose, and passion. You know, I'm having so much fun doing the podcast because I get to talk to so many wonderful people doing amazing things. So I know you're on the edge of your seat. So let's jump into the story of No Limits with Alma Nelly. Hi, Alma. How are you?
Doing good.
Good. Welcome to the podcast. I am super excited that you are here. We talked about this a little bit when we supported Jeff in his amazing journey in the TIR.
Super fun journey.
Super fun. We met, how long ago? It's been a while.
Oh my God. Okay. So one of my Facebook memories popped up, and I want to say it was at the Brew Run for the West End, somewhere around 16 or 17.
Okay.
It was a while back.
That was the big one. They've always been successful, but there was one that was just
I think
huge.
It was that one.
Yes, because I think I have a picture of you and Finn together and Bernie.
Yes.
Yes. Was that the one that popped up? Yeah. Cool. Yeah. And it was for Achilles. But were you with Achilles?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I thought. I hope so, because that's what I said in my podcast introducing you last episode.
Yes. So
I got
because
that right.
I met Achilles in 2014.
Okay.
Early 2014 or early 2015, I believe.
Yeah. And for those of you that don't know of Achilles, Achilles is a nonprofit that helps disabled athletes, and amputees, blind are mostly the people that, I know there's stroke
Survivors, anybody with a mobility impairment,
Yeah.
Be it paralysis, partial paralysis,
Yeah.
amputations, things of that nature.
You want to run and swim and have fun, and we're there to support and do everything we can. So it's a super great organization. But that's how Alma and I met. You have a great story. I love your story. I think it's a very inspiring story. And so I thought it would be fun to have you on to talk about that. You were diagnosed with cancer at a very young age. You lost your leg. And now you are an advocate for young adult cancer survivors.
Yes.
A triathlete and a runner.
Yes.
So
a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. So please tell your story and share.
So the short version of the very long story begins with the very early manifestations that something was wrong when I was about 13 years old, 13, 14 years old, freshman in high school. And, typical adolescent thing, bone pain that doctors just kind of throw off as growing pains. Fast forward 4 years through high school. First semester of college, thankfully, I chose to stay home. I had some issues with my right leg. I had a bump that was very visible at that stage. But because community doctors at that time didn't really suspect that people that age could have a real problem that wasn't growing pains, my situation was discarded as growing pains. Here's some ibuprofen. You're growing. Keep doing what you're doing, which was rollerblading and cheerleading and
all that fun
stuff that you do as a teenager, rock and roll concerts and all the other stuff we're not going to mention. And so fast forward to my first semester of college, the bump was there, the pain was immense. I couldn't step anymore, and so we went to a different doctor, which immediately was like, oh, this x-ray doesn't look normal. Let's see who wants to take your case. A few months later, it was cancer, diagnosis at MD Anderson Cancer Center.
You were in middle school?
I was a freshman in high school.
Oh, a freshman in high school.
And I was diagnosed as a freshman in college.
And you were diagnosed as a freshman in college.
Yes, a very late stage bone cancer in the lower portion of my tibia at the growth plates.
Yeah.
Again, normal things for teenagers that nobody suspects is cancer because young people are not supposed to have cancer.
Right.
And so went through the cancer checkups at MD Anderson. While we're looking at this leg issue going on, they stumble upon my belly acting funny. They think, well, did you gain weight? Well, yeah, I'm no longer a cheerleader. I'm no longer active. I'm, college student. And so with the bone cancer diagnosis, came in ovarian cancer diagnosis, also very rare for somebody that age. I was 18. The type of cancer that you're not going to detect on your standard gynecological exam at 18. And so that started the journey, again at MD Anderson in late 1997. A few rounds of chemo, lots and lots of chemo. The leg tumor kind of fed off of the chemo versus it dying. The ovarian issues were something that was pretty easy, I suppose you can say that. Surgery, chemo to follow in conjunction with the chemo for the leg. The idea was, let's see what this is going to do. Let's try to save your leg. However, from day one, it was discussed, you may not be able to keep your leg.
And how did that feel at a young age? Did it register?
I think it registered, but I've always been an optimist.
Yeah.
And so it was more of, as my siblings report in my chemo-drunken stupors, I would go off and say all these things, and they'll report saying that I would talk about, well, I have to, go to college, and I have to have a career, and I have to. So I think that optimist in me just reflected even through chemo.
Yeah.
And so when the reality of the cancer's not responding, we have to amputate your leg, it came with the words, I have to take your leg, but you will have no limits. And this is my doctor. His name is Dr. Alan Yasko. May he rest in peace. He passed away in 2010. And he is the person that said, I have to take your leg. However, you will be able to do whatever it is that you want to do. And so, again, the optimist registered, you will be able to do whatever it is you want to do. And so I owe him everything. So the reality of the amputation was there. And I will tell you what my biggest fear was, that my friends were not going to love me anymore. Forget being...
Acceptance,
Yeah, forget everything else. Are my friends going to love me? Because now I am going to be different. Yeah. And I was 19. I had a birthday right after diagnosis. And so the mind of a 19-year-old automatically went to my social circle, which kind of dwindled a little bit because cancer just takes forever.
Yeah.
And so the longer the treatment, the less the friends are there because they have to carry on with their lives as well. You're in that transformation piece of life where people are going to college, people are establishing jobs, getting married, doing what, young people do. And so after the amputation and just constantly...
So it was 19 when you lost your leg
yes,
to
so
cancer.
Yes, I was already 19.
Okay.
And so, once the surgery happened, my siblings say that I woke up with the biggest smile. They're like, you just were
amazing.
And it's the knowledge that the cancer was gone and it was not going to come back. And so that was okay. But I do recall waking up from anesthesia and, you have like one side that looks like this and another side that looks like this. And so it took a moment for it to register in the sense of, okay, this is the new reality, this is the new normal. But in the back of my mind was always the thought, you'll have no limits, followed by it's your leg or your life. And so those are the two things that I held on to because it's, again, just optimism, just, oh my God, I can't be 19 and not be here anymore.
Yeah.
So once all that was done, came the rebuilding, came the, okay, well, I wanted to be a business major. I wanted to be a businesswoman that focused on commerce. I wanted to just explore that whole international commerce. We do live in the second largest port in the U.S. And I did do some work with an export company to help pay for college.
Oh, wow.
Which was cut very short. But once I recovered from cancer, I fell in love with MD Anderson. I fell in love with the world of diagnostic imaging because it was going to change the world in the 1990s, which sounds like so long ago.
I know. It wasn't.
Late last millennium.
But I'm sure a lot has changed.
It has.
Yeah.
So, I fell in love with diagnostic imaging because you're constantly being x-rayed, CT'd, MRI'd, you name it. So I fell in love with the CT aspect of care of a patient because the technologists who do these images, they would sit there and they were so intent on what they were looking at. And so when I was this 85-pound little one-legged person being wheeled in and out of a room, I would notice that they'd be like so intent and so intense looking at what they were looking at that I became the obnoxious little girl that would ask, well, what do you see? And what are you looking at? And can I see? And what did you do? And where did you go to school? And so that kind of thing is how I came upon the decision that I would survive, that I would go back to school, and that I would do CT scans for MD Anderson. And that was plan A. Then at some point, the idea of sports came back around, but it wasn't 2 years later. And just a little history on my sports, I guess, if you can call it that. The reality is, I think I was just always a hyperactive child that just needed an outlet.
Well, you're very happy. You're very And we all have our moments, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I've known you, and you've always been always been smiling.
Just
You're
perky.
always smiling and perky, and yeah.
And yes, I was a cheerleader in high school.
You were,
Of course.
Yeah.
And I used to love to rollerblade because, in the 90s when the inline skates came in, I had my first pair of skates. They were Smurfs.
Really?
Back in the
Were they inline? No, they were
like in the
skates.
early 80s when I was like 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
I had my first pair of skates.
I had a pair of speed skates and a pair of freestyle skates, not Smurf skates though.
So I have loved to skate ever, since I was a very little girl.
Yeah.
Again, going back to, I think I just have too much energy.
Yeah.
And so when cancer and amputation happened, there was always that thought in my mind of, okay, yes, I'm different. Okay, yes, now I have to walk, learn how to walk. Eventually, trying to find the outlet to do sports. There's nobody to guide you. Mm-hmm. I was an older adolescent or young adult at that point. Uh-huh. So my dad's insurance kind of was like, well, I don't know if we cover. I don't know if we do cover. So obviously the resources of prosthetics and things of that nature were kind of a tricky pathway for me.
Is that so when you're talking about the prosthetics, because you need certain types of prosthetics to do sports?
Correct. Correct. And so the inability of being able to finance those through an insurance company that's going to be giving you whatever. Yeah. Just that wasn't the reality in those days. It was more like, hey, well, they're not going to cover it, but here is resources like Texas Workforce Commission that will come in and help a cancer survivor pay for prosthetics, help you get back on your feet so you can rejoin the workforce. Yeah. The workforce also means school.
Okay, so but not sports.
Not sports.
Yeah.
It's more getting you functional so that you can resume life, become an active member, contributing member of society, and helping you that way.
Got it.
So that's where my first prosthetic came from. And then I just kind of was trying to run with it, and it didn't work. For running, I tried different avenues.
But what made you go, I think I'm going to run?
We used to run a lot when I was a cheerleader.
Okay. So it's just something you remembered
something I remembered.
Yeah, you were familiar with.
Yes. And again, just looking for that outlet to spend the energy. I was going through school. Eventually, I went to work at MD Anderson in 2003. August 2003, I had graduated with a 2-year degree in radiography, which was all that was available at the time. If I wanted a 4-year degree, I had to go to Lamar University.
Where is that?
In Louisiana, I think.
Oh.
I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There weren't a lot of 4-year radiography schools anywhere.
Yeah.
That has changed, thankfully, as the progression of the profession has happened.
Yeah.
But I came to MD Anderson, or went back to MD Anderson in 2003 as an employee. Better access to insurance, better access to resources. Once I found an outlet for sports, which was cardio kickboxing.
Oh, really?
I did that for about 3 years. And Sifu John Palacios, who was the master or the Sifu at the time, he was another person who was like, yeah, you can do it. Come on. And so a sister of mine was doing the class. I went and did the class. I did the class for about 3 years. I probably practiced next to one lady for about 2 years before she realized that my knee was not getting better. So my prosthetic looked very, very normal. It looked like I had a knee brace. And maybe about 2 years later, she was like, honey, your knee's not getting better. I was like, oh, that's a prosthetic leg. Because, they had to look so pretty and perfect. Yeah. Because even though I accepted the fact that I was an amputee, I still had trouble with accepting a leg that looked very mechanical.
Yeah.
And so, as we progressed with that, just that thought of running was always in the back of my mind. And I think just because of just the times we were living in and how invisible we as amputees or disabled athletes were at that point. There were no resources, no outlets, nobody to talk to. Insurances didn't really pay attention to that mind-body connection, I don't think they really ever have.
Yeah.
I think we're making strides, but we're not there yet.
Yeah.
And so eventually, 10 years after amputation, through some bone issues that had come up, my doctors wrote letters well enough for my insurance to say, okay, we'll pay for a running prosthetic. And so in 2010, I got my very first running prosthetic. Took us several months to get it right. But I will tell you, the moment I was able to run, and I don't mean 1/8 of a mile at a time, like when you're beginning and trying to learn how to do this on your own. Again, there's nobody around really to help with that journey. There was a healing that was occurring, but I think the feeling was masked by love. I am in love with this.
Running.
With running. I wasn't really understanding that I was healing at the time, because I went from having to have very nice looking prosthetics with leather and toes, and I could wear dresses and cardio kickbox next to somebody that wouldn't know it was a fake leg.
Yes.
And I went to a mechanical looking running leg that has no choice but to look like a running leg. And so once I started running and becoming proficient, and people would just kind of like, what the heck? What just happened? Who, there was no longer that feeling of I'm different. It was more a feeling of, oh my God, I'm a badass. I can run.
Yeah, you are.
In 2012, I ran my first half marathon. And I just continued to fall in love with it. And I go back to saying I didn't realize that I was healing. But in retrospect, after so many years of being able to do the sport, I think there was just that mind-body connection that wasn't there. And I started to have self-esteem again, see myself as a whole person again, be part of a community, because you're so, oh my God, I cannot even begin to say how lonely the journey is. And it's still a lonely journey, even with people like Achilles and many of the other organizations.
Yeah.
It's still a very lonely journey until you find those people that are on the same path as you are, or healing collectively through sports.
Yeah.
So the goal was always to run a marathon, because I have no limits.
That's right.
Dr. Yasko said that.
He said that.
Yeah, Dr. Yasko said, you will have no limits. And so prosthetics are so tricky. It's trial and error. It's not a perfect science. Your prosthetics team can get you some very awesome legs that will work very well, but it's a lot of tweaking involved.
Yeah.
And it's also, again, very expensive. Insurances do what they do, but eventually through the right avenues and doctors and prescriptions, you get what you need.
Yeah.
And circling back to Achilles and many other organizations that are here in town and even nationally, that will help you get those items you need to be an athlete. The idea became a reality.
Yeah.
And I ran my one full marathon in 2014.
Was it Houston?
It was Houston, yes.
Woohoo.
At the time, I know I wasn't the first, but I was the first one that we made people look at. Did
you promote it?
My prosthetics team, and I don't remember what the pathway was, to be honest.
Yeah.
But somehow the prosthetics people knew. Oh my God, her name left me.
It's okay.
From the Chronicle. Oh my God, I love her.
You'll think of it.
She wrote for the Chronicle. Oh my God, I can't believe the name escaped me.
Start talking, you'll remember.
Part of Achilles too.
Is she?
Yeah, she volunteered with the marathon.
Oh God, I can't remember.
McGinnis, the last name?
I don't remember.
Oh my God. Okay, can't believe it left me. Somebody knew her. She wrote for the lifestyle section. She's a runner.
Okay.
Was always a very avid runner herself. She wrote my story for the Chronicle for Marathon Weekend, Then we did Houston Life.
Yeah.
And we did another program I don't remember, or I don't know if for the Houston Life it was also aired for radio. Anyway, there was some media involvement, and I had the front page of the newspaper Marathon Weekend in 2014.
That is amazing.
And so I went and ran the thing.
And you did it.
And I did it, and it's my one and done because I was never.
What was the hardest part?
In retrospect, the hardest part is that I did this all by myself.
Yeah.
That I followed.
You trained?
I trained
by yourself?
myself.
Yeah. Takes a
trained.
lot.
I looked up a guide online, marathonrookie.com, and I followed that thing to a T. And that is how I trained myself to run this marathon. Unfortunately for me, my body didn't really hold up afterward. And so I did find myself hospitalized afterward. But it was a confluence of things. Probably the most important of which was I didn't have the proper guidance, not only during training, but what nutrition and hydration should look like, but also a body that had been very beat up by chemo. So eventually the doctors came to the conclusion that it was going to happen regardless because your body's so beat up. And so after that discouragement, you just pick yourself back up, and I still love to run because ultimately it is the thing that brought me together that makes me feel whole and the thing that makes me feel like a person. And so after the marathon, fast forward a couple years, I met Bernie from Achilles. She came running after me at Woodlands.
Woodlands Marathon?
Yeah, at the Woodlands. And I want to say that, I can't remember what year it was. 2014 or so, I think it was.
Was it 14? I'm trying to remember when she started it.
No, it has to be 2015 because Achilles began in 2014, I believe.
Achilles here, Houston, the Houston chapter.
Here.
Yeah, okay.
I think I remember.
It's been a while.
Yes, saying that.
Yeah.
And so I met Achilles, and then a couple years later, I met Team Catapult. They found me at a start line, and with those two organizations, I just kind of found all the support that I needed. And
So we'll just say Catapult is another organization similar to Achilles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Focus on getting, mobility impaired, visually impaired, or altogether athletes with disabilities, getting them from the couch to the no limit stage of a full Ironman, if that's what you choose to do.
Yes.
And same thing with Achilles, the gamut of what you want to do. There are no limits.
There are no limits.
There are no limits.
That's the podcast saying. There are no limits.
No limits. And so, yes, just, those organizations, the people I've met, you being one of them, just absolutely love the people, love the community. Once I was proficient at running, and I honestly felt like a total badass because I would see not only the change in me, but the change going on around me.
Yeah.
That's not to say that, like anybody who is different and wants to play with the normal people, that people will always have something to say. Oh, well, you have an unfair advantage. Oh, well, of course you're going to beat me. You're running on a spring.
People say that?
People.
No.
People say that. They do.
Well, I guided a guy, he was blind, and somebody left him on the course because he was not going to reach his goal. He left him on the course because the guy that was running was slower than him, and he couldn't stand to go slow. So he left the blind gentleman on the course.
And that's a person that does not need to be a guide for disabled athletes. Period.
Exactly.
Because when you're a guide, it is not about you.
It's not about you. Yeah, exactly.
Where's my pearls?
People. Your life is in your hands. But what happens when you lose control? Those bad habits start to creep in and your mind becomes restless. Well, it's time to get back in the driving seat and be the master of your own destiny. At Element 5 Acupuncture and Wellness, we are here with you every step of the way. Our wellness coaching helps you make sustainable changes that will transform your life. Whether that's losing weight, improving sleep, or coping with stress, you'll be part of a client-centered partnership that will help you reach your goals. All the healing, support, guidance, and encouragement you could ever need. So what are you waiting for? Get motivated and thrive with Element 5 Acupuncture and Wellness.
We just want a seat at the table.
Yeah.
You know, I think that the big change that has happened when it comes to disabled athletes is not solely the millions of Americans like myself that lose an appendage for whatever reason, but then we also have the younger people coming back from fighting a war.
Sure.
And so that, I think, has been the catalyst more so than anything else, because now you were visible.
Yeah.
And we have been fighting to be visible.
Yeah.
And I will share with you how invisible an 18-year-old cancer patient is.
Yeah. Sure.
I was the 18-year-old cancer patient with bone cancer and with ovarian cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I was the 18-year-old with her mom at MD Anderson's clinic that when people called my name to be a patient, the other people would look at my mom.
Wow.
Thinking she was the patient.
Wow.
And so, again, we've gotten a little further than we were, but we are so not there yet.
Yeah.
And, you know, and so
what do you think the biggest struggle is with that?
I think the biggest struggle
or challenge,
lack of awareness. Okay. Yeah. And I think a lot of it, number one, is just that a young person is not supposed to have cancer.
Yeah.
Period. And so even in 2022, there just seems to be an invisibility.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's lack of awareness, it's lack of education, it's lack of people willing to recognize it. It's that in certain cultures is still a taboo subject that people don't want to talk about and bring to the light. Mm-hmm. And that goes for cancer, any disease, sexual orientation, amputee, no amputee, you name it. Anybody who is different.
Yeah.
In 2009, I was very lucky to be invited to be part of a work group at MD Anderson called the Adolescent Young Adult Work Group. And so eventually, this work group morphed into what is now called the Young Adult Advisory Council. Mm-hmm. So we are an advisory council for MD Anderson that focuses solely on the needs, challenges, and basically anything and everything that we can do to make the experience of the young adult cancer patient better. Mm. For me, coming into this council in 2009 was, I think, a door that opened, that opened my eyes to, oh my God, if only this would have existed in 1997, when I was going through all of this, how much better could I have fared in all aspects of life? Same as I, say with Achilles and Catapult. Had I had this ability, even within a small group, how much better would my experience have been? So when this council came to be, and I was invited to be part of it, I got to speak nationally, internationally, locally, at different conferences. And
conferences like work?
So the very first conference that I spoke at was an international cancer conference that took place in Washington, D.C.
Okay, so a cancer conference.
Yes.
Okay.
And so there was starting to be a focus on adolescent and young adults as a subset. The world is binary in many, many aspects. In patient care, adult, pediatric, there's no in between. I was the in between that nobody recognized. And there is a huge in between that is still fighting for recognition because it's things that happen in a formative stage of life that is a disruption of life, or that you kind of ricochet off of and go in a separate direction. Many things can be that. Cancer for sure is one of them.
Do you feel like you're invisible, or it goes completely the other way, right? Where people are at the other end of the spectrum of being invisible, which would be more like
too much attention
or feeling sorry.
The feeling sorry could be a whole other podcast. It could be a series.
Yeah.
You get the polar opposite.
That's what I was thinking.
You don't really get the in between.
In between. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, you get the polar opposite.
You do. I mean, even now I still get, oh my God, I'm so sorry. You know, people mean well.
They mean well, sure.
But 25 years later, it's like, oh, just shut up. I don't hear it. I'm fine.
Yeah.
But it's, again, I go back to just saying the same thing. It's that fight for visibility.
Yeah.
Whether it's the cancer survivor, whether it's whomever.
Yeah.
The veteran, the misunderstood, child, anybody, just anybody that's different in any way, shape, or form. Finding your group, finding those outlets, and finding those avenues, or even that hobby that's going to put you back together is what's so important.
Yeah.
For me, it was running.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it opened up a door to so many people and great communities. But then it also gives you the next challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I can run a marathon, so I can run. Many have marathons because the doctor said no more marathons. What else can I do?
Yeah.
And so that's where triathlons came in, because I was a runner who loved to cycle at the same time. So then it was like, okay, I can run, I can cycle. Well, maybe if I can learn how to swim, I can do this.
Yeah.
And so the healing and the putting myself together through running gave way to the next challenge and then to the next challenge. And I think that is just part of living.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if maybe that's just a subset of people that are always looking for that next challenge.
Yeah.
For me, it's about keeping it interesting, I guess, and just seeing what I can do.
Yeah.
And just making life interesting. And so after, a few years of running, a few years of cycling, I added swimming. And I want to say that within a couple years of learning how to swim, I ran the gamut of a sprint triathlon to a half Ironman. And crossing that finish line was amazing. And aging myself here, but the half Ironman was done to celebrate my 40th birthday.
That's awesome.
Because by now...
Which one did you do?
Waco.
Waco. Oh.
Cameron.
Waco's hard. Yeah.
It was.
I did Waco. I did a relay at Waco. I did the swim. No, I'm sorry. I did the run. That's what I did.
Cameron Park was tough.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes. But again, it was just the progression of challenges. And now I had a community. Now I had the resources, the support system, and just that drive.
Yeah.
That's not to diminish the bad days and the depression that comes with these things and the psychological repercussions, that engulf the whole experience. Even now, 25 years later, there's just that constant battle for what you can do. It's just the you versus you.
Yeah.
Whether it's in running, cycling, swimming, or all three together, it's just life in general. It is always you versus you.
Yeah.
For a long-term survivor like myself, the road's always going to be tricky. It's always going to be paved with issues because, sorry to sound like a nerd, but in this day and age, 85% of young adults that have cancer survive.
Yeah.
That was not the case many years ago. Many years ago, and I want to say the first statistics were probably 40 years ago, you didn't have a percentage that was over like 60, 70%.
Really? Well, I remember when we were supporting Jeff and we were talking, because I had a milestone birthday.
Yes.
I was just, struggling, and I was talking to you about it. And then you had told me that you didn't expect to live this long. And then you had to reassess and replan your life.
Yes, because nobody teaches you how to be a cancer survivor.
Yeah.
and again, that being invisible, there was no resources and nobody to talk to you. And so, yes, I didn't expect to be alive at almost 44.
Yeah.
And so when you get older and all these body changes, and not to mention the magnitude of issues from cancer treatment, what saves your life ends up being what hinders some of it later on. But I will say this, because I think I have said it a million times. Running put me back together, and myself, just like my doctors, the multitude of them, we give so much credit to the ability to run or participate in any kind of sport.
Yeah.
Because you're not only talking about the physical aspect, you're talking about the psychological and the emotional. And so again, going back to that mind and body connection, you are not a whole person if you are fragmented.
Yeah.
And sports has always had the power to do that.
Yeah.
Whether you're the kid at the playground.
Yeah, I think sports are amazing. They teach you so many things.
They do.
Yeah.
They allow you to feel like you're part of a community.
Yeah.
They allow you to feel human.
Yeah, and community is such a pillar in health and wellness, connection, relationships. And those positive ones really impact your life. So I think that's really cool. And I love your doctor, because he put a seed in your head.
Oh, yes.
That you still believe and do. And I think that's awesome. That's a good doctor.
Yes, he is a wonderful person. He is the person I dedicated my first half marathon to. Because he had just passed away. He was very young. He had a PE, a pulmonary embolism, and passed away. I think he was in his 50s.
Wow, so young.
Very young. And so I think my doing what I do is how I honor him.
Yeah.
And I think it's not diminishing my own journey by saying that I honor him, but I honor him because he is the person that planted that seed, and the person that said, okay, this sucks, but the rest is probably going to be amazing if you want it to be amazing.
Yeah.
And so it's, a lot of it doesn't come because somebody tells you.
Yeah.
I think it comes just from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Whether it's deep inside you or just a higher being, whatever higher being you subscribe to.
Sure.
There's just, if you want to do it, you can do it. And if you don't want to do it,
don't do it.
Then don't do it.
But I think that meaning and purpose it drives you, right? Like just in life or career, like to have that meaning and that purpose, it gives you that sense of, okay, I am here for this, and I am ready to take this on. Yeah.
And that is exactly right. When I talk to people about that journey, I often tell them, cancer has been the biggest blessing in my life. Yeah. Others might have a different opinion, but many of us have that same opinion because it changes your perspective on everything.
Yeah.
And the perspective that comes with it is life is beautiful. I might be missing a leg, but I have rumbled with it. I have resolved it. I have, through many years and many, many obstacles and resources and what have you, been able to move past that and put my mind up to the challenge of what that may be, and let me see if I can tackle it, surpass it, and see what the next challenge may be. Yeah. And so I cannot be more thankful to running. Yeah. I think Kobe Bryant wrote a letter to basketball. If I was ever that talented and that eloquent, I would write a love letter to running.
That's amazing.
Yes, because it is, for me, it is something that, it's, sorry to be redundant, but it brought me together, and it put my body, my soul together, and it healed me, and then it brought me this amazing community. Yeah. And then as I got older, my body was like, oh, I don't know about this running thing. And I even had doctors tell me I was not going to be able to run again after a hip issue, but here we are, getting back to it.
So do you have anything planned?
Yes. So running. Are you
going to do any more triathlons?
Well, I do plan to. I was mentioning a moment ago how when you survive cancer, you just have a long line of issues that come with that. And then as I've gotten older, other issues that come with all that. So I had started getting back on the road to sports. Yeah. I've just had a little hiccup with a cancer scare. That thankfully was nothing but a scare, which scared me well. I
feel like if you're diagnosed with cancer, it's always there. It is in the back of your head.
It is always there. It never leaves you.
It never leaves you. Yeah.
You never know when it's going to be the year where you're going to have cancer again. Yeah. Or some kind of other issue. So detours happen. Yeah. But the goal has been after this hip issue I was talking about to get back to running. Because I can't, because somebody told me I couldn't, and I believed them for a while. But then I had to remember.
A doctor, yeah.
Yeah, then I had to remember that Dr. Yasko said I could do whatever I want. So with the right doctors that focus on sports, not cancer, we can find our way back. And so I am going to run for a while. Before I circle back to triathlons. Okay. Just for health reasons, running will be much more beneficial. Yeah.
So your prosthetic, do you have a blade? I can't remember.
Yes.
Yeah. That's right.
Blade with the MD Anderson logo in the back.
Do you?
I do. Oh. The cancer with the strike through.
I think I do remember.
I'm an MD Anderson baby.
Well, that sounds like they were really great to you, and you had a really great experience there. So
I continue to, yes.
Yeah.
19 years of employment there next month. I'm a poster child for the cause. I've been a poster child for the cause. There's an 8-footer of me in one of the sky bridges.
Really?
Yes.
I love it.
I have to send you a picture.
You have to show me a picture.
I'm a poster child for the cause.
I love it. So, it's interesting because I talk a lot about endurance sports, and I really like it because I think it teaches resiliency. Like it makes you a very resilient person because you come up to obstacles, you have to push through certain emotions, and you have to push through wanting to quit. That's what endurance sports brings to me, and besides the community and all of that. Your story is you had to go through this journey before you started to the running. So running was very healing for you, but also you've learned to be resilient because of your journey, right?
I like the way you put that. In reality, my reality is that I think life has just been life in its entirety has been an endurance sport for me.
Yes.
But yes, I love the longer distances. Yeah. Because it's your prayer time, it's your meditation time, it's your coming together time, your planning time. So the beauty of it, I think, is the metaphor for life. And it sounds so cliched, and I'm sure there's like 10,000 memes and quotes out there, but it really is a metaphor for life. Yeah. Mine's been very bumpy, lots of up and downs, and, cancer, non-cancer, but you get out of it what you put into it. Yeah. And just that you're constantly in the back of your mind. Well, can I? Well, can I? No, you can't. And you're like, yes, I can. Watch me. So those longer distances, be it in running alone or a triathlon,
Yeah.
it really does teach you resiliency in a way that only confirms or reaffirms how resilient you already are.
Yeah.
And I think that's
I like that. Yeah.
just the beauty of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to think that I'm a pretty resilient person.
I think you are.
But some days at work, I will run to my office and shed a tear because I'm just so stressed and just so upset at the day.
But that's part of it, right? That's part of being resilient, is that you might be down for a day or two, maybe a little bit longer, but somehow you pick yourself back up and you keep moving forward towards what it is that you want, right? And want to accomplish. So that's that. And I think it's such a great skill for anybody to develop and cultivate in their life, because life is not easy.
It's so not easy.
I mean, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
But it's not always easy.
No.
So, and I think you're such an inspiration to that. So I really appreciate you. So,
I'm blushing.
so how about some tips or some suggestions about the inclusiveness, or how could somebody be more inclusive and not operate at those two ends of the spectrum? What could you share? Is there anything for people to think about?
Things to think about.
Yeah.
I'm going to share a story that doesn't involve me, but it is my favorite story from the Houston half marathon. And if you have to bleep this, please do.
Go for it.
But one of our visually impaired folks that was running the half marathon this one year with Team Catapult, that was running with Team Catapult that year, had people that were, cheering her on. And she got so tired of people just constantly saying, "You're so awesome and you're so encouraging and good for you and you let nothing take you down," or whatever those motivating, quote unquote, phrases are that people tend to say to disabled athletes. And this particular visually impaired athlete got so tired of hearing it that eventually she turns back and goes, "Oh, just fuck off." The takeaway is, don't make assumptions.
Yeah.
Okay. People, in my experience, tend to assume I'm a veteran. And I will respectfully say it was a different kind of battle. Because I don't want to be rude, but just not making assumptions, I think, is a good thing. Or being overly curious. I had the experience with, the ditzy girl. "Oh my God, what happened to your leg?" I looked at her in my north side face. That's where I grew up in Houston. A shark bit it off. And I kept walking. So I think that was my fuck off moment.
Yeah.
Don't stare.
Yeah.
Don't stare. If you have a question, ask.
Yeah.
Some of the more respectful people have said, "Is a salute in order?" And that's their form of saying, "Are you a veteran?"
Right.
And I'll be like, "I'm not that badass." I said it was a different kind of battle. Thank you.
Wow. It's a much nicer way, respectful way of asking a question.
But, and people mean well.
Yeah, they do.
You have to, in the book I'm reading, that we were discussing earlier, Dr. Brene Brown says that you have to give people grace.
Yeah.
Or you don't have to, but, be gracious. Be kind enough to give others grace.
Yeah.
Because they really are trying their best and they don't mean to, they mean well.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's, okay, when people ask about my running, I'll be like, "Oh yeah, this is my 23rd half marathon." "Oh, good for you." I'm like, "Yeah, no, it's been awesome." But it's gotten better over the years. Just I go back to what I just said, giving people grace and just realizing that they mean well.
Yeah.
people don't know how to do difficult conversations. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to react. But sometimes on our side of the house, we have to be a little graceful too, because people they don't mean to insult you or make you feel less than.
Yeah, they're doing the best. Sometimes they just don't know how to approach it.
They don't know how to approach it. And so, you know, going back to the story about being mistaken for a veteran.
Yeah.
You know, I will very respectfully just say, well, you know, different battle.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah.
Or the counter strike through on the running leg.
Yeah.
Kind of gives it away, so.
Yeah. So not making assumptions.
Just don't make assumptions. And if you have a question, ask. Yeah. Don't stare. Mm-hmm. For me, it's the staring. I will stare right back at you again with my north side face.
I love it. And stay out of the handicapped parking spaces if you are not handicapped.
And the lines that are next to them. It is not free parking, people.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I am 5 feet tall. I need room to get in and out of that car.
Yeah, yeah. Is Kathy still doing Is she still doing that?
Yes.
Well, yeah, we have a friend that I guess, I don't know, it's not, she didn't get certified, but she got approved.
It's like a community advocate.
A community advocate, yeah. If she sees anybody parked in the handicap parking spots without a handicap
placard,
she will write them a ticket. Is it a ticket or citation? I don't.
It's I guess the legal term is citation.
Yeah.
She'll write a citation. She documents it via picture and then puts a citation on the windshield.
So there are people out there, guys, watching you.
We're always watching.
That's awesome. Well, this has been so much fun.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for coming and sharing your story. I think it's awesome. And keep running and doing your thing.
I'm going to keep running.
Keep running. And
it's good for the body and the soul.
Hopefully Achilles will do the brew run again soon. I don't know, that didn't happen this year, did it? It usually happens in April.
In April. I don't think it did.
I'll have to talk to Sheila about that. Well, cool. Well, you'll have to come back sometime, and we're friends, so I'm going to see you around.
Well, thanks for having me on the podcast.
You're welcome. All right. Bye, guys. Okay, what did you guys think? Alma is a great human. She is always smiling, optimistic, and upbeat. And I feel super lucky to have her as a friend. So I hope you enjoyed the conversation as much as I did, and I look forward to hanging out with you next time. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to the podcast and share with your family and friends. You can also give me a rating and review wherever you listen to your podcast. It helps other people find me as well. To get updates on new episodes and wellness inspiration in your inbox, please join the Wellness Inspired community. Go to wellnessinspiredpodcast.com to sign up. I'll put the link in the show notes so you can click and join. Also, there is a Facebook community at The Wellness Inspired, and you can follow me on Instagram at wellness_inspired. If you're in the Houston area or visiting and interested in acupuncture, herbal medicine, cupping, or dry needling, please contact us. You can find out more on our website at element5om.com. That's element5, the number 5, om.com. And again, I'll put the link in the show notes. If you're interested in health and wellness coaching, we can connect in the clinic or on Zoom. Reach out to us and we'll get you on the schedule. And as always, I would love to hear your feedback. I am dedicated to bringing you great content that is inspiring and informative with an artsy, fun, and edgy spin. Thank you so much for listening. We'll meet here again next time. And remember, never stop exploring, learning, loving, and being you. Bye.